is 80 years old. The man is obviously declining mentally. Anybody who's listened to what Joe Biden sounded like when he was the vice president of the United States under Barack Obama knows that he is not the same man, at least in terms of how he can articulate himself. So it's important to understand that he is in great decline, but he is choosing to run anyway because he basically has no choice. The Democratic Party saddled him with a vice president in Kamala Harris who is deeply unpopular, who comes off as a complete phony many times and is unable to handle stressful situations without sort of the nervous giggle and sort of talking in circles. This is what happens when, liberals use identity politics as opposed to actual ideas to pick their candidates. So they can't run Kamala. Kamala's who they wanted in the first place in 2020. Those of you with long memories know that way back in, I believe, 2019, when I was still on Monday, I talked about Kamala Harris being the official pick of the Hampton set of the Democratic Party. But she could not even stay in the race long enough to wage a real campaign in her home state because she was going to lose her home state very badly to Bernie Sanders. So she hurried up and dropped out of the race, and they tried to force her on us in a roundabout way by making her the vice president. And now she is the most unpopular vice president that we've had in modern history. They can't also name Pete Buttigieg the official successor to Joe Biden because nobody likes Pete Buttigieg either. We have had transportation disaster after transportation disaster since he's been in office. Now, I'm not saying all of it's his fault, but I am saying that as the transportation secretary, you can do something to these airlines and to these train companies. That is your office. But Pete Buttigieg is a corporatist. He's a corporate shill. That's what he does. Who just wanted to be transportation secretary because it sounds like something that might help him be president. He's not actually interested in doing any real work as the transportation secretary. So because of that, we're stuck with Joe Biden in spite of the fact that 70% of Americans don't even want Joe Biden anymore. 70% of the American people don't want Joe Biden as their mayor. As their president anymore. That's incredible when you think about it. And 75% of Democrats want somebody other than Joe Biden. That's incredible. 75% after 4 years in office, Joe Biden doesn't even have 75% of his base supporting him. Just recently, just the other day, we saw that the mainstream media got caught giving Biden questions beforehand for him to answer, because the man can't be counted on to answer questions with the mindset that he's in at 80 years old. Now, mind you, they did all this so that you wouldn't have somebody like Bernie Sanders and now maybe somebody like a Marianne Williamson or a Robert Kennedy Jr., people who are not as willing to compromise themselves and prostrate themselves and prostitute themselves to Wall Street and the military-industrial complex and the prison industrial complex. And so we can look forward to probably another rematch between the Democrats' old geezer, who is far too past his prime to be running for anything. And by geezer, I mean he is not capable. It's not about a number per se. Because I know plenty of people who are 70, 80 years old who are still of sound mind and who are still capable. But Joe Biden is not one of those people. Joe Biden is done. But again, the Democratic Party is out of options because they cheated to get him in there. They cheated Bernie Sanders to make sure that he wouldn't be in there fighting against corporate interest. And so now they're stuck. And I don't feel bad for him in the slightest. All right, folks, it is already almost 8 o'clock. It is 7:56 p.m. So you know what that means. It is time for me to get up on out of here, folks. You can always get at me at The Chemist Lives on Twitter. The Chemist is spelled with a K because I am a product of the Gary Community School System. We can talk about politics. We can talk about music. We can talk about sports. We can talk about how terrible I am at this. Or you can just watch clips from this show and all the others on my YouTube page, Scott Cannon WLTH. Always remember you can interact with all of us at WLTH at the new website, WLTHradio.com. That's WLTHradio.com. You can see us at our Facebook page, WLTH Radio. Tweet at us at WLTH Radio, and even see us on Instagram at, you guessed it, WLTH Radio. And you can listen to me every Friday right here, 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Same bat time, same bat channel on My Country with Scott Cannon. So for station owner Marion Williams, station manager Natalie Ammons, I am Scott Cannon. This was Issues and Answers Friday on WLTH 1370 AM. God bless the working class. God bless organized labor. And as the good Rev always said, God bless you. I'm out, humans. Go Sox!